let you know that the ADO staff and myself went to a conference a few months ago, and we saw Mr. Mike Greeny here go ahead and give a conversation and gave his presentation to all of us. And we all really loved what he had to say and how he got it across. So we brought him out here, and hopefully you guys will do the same. So a little bit about Mr. Greeny. Mike Greeny is better known as Greeny, is the president and founder of Collegiate Consultants. Over the past 18 years, Mike Greeny has made presentations on more than 2,000 campuses nationwide in his effort to make drug and alcohol awareness and education an integral part of every student's life. He is a recognized leader in the field who has earned the respect of both his colleagues and the students he has counseled. Mike serves as a consultant on various collegiate school boards and pro sports teams, specifically for alcohol and drug awareness. Mike has been a participant and coach at both high school and collegiate levels. As a defensive lineman, he received all Pennsylvania Conference and All-State honors and a tryout with the Philadelphia Eagles. Mike was a high school athletic director and has coached Division II football. His background of athletic coach and educator gives him the know-how to connect with today's youth. His first-hand experiences as a recovering alcoholic gives him the credibility to honestly relate to the dangers of drugs and alcohol posed to many students. The ADO program, along with your battalion and brigade ADOs, it was a great pleasure to introduce to you Mike Greeny.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction. I'd also like to thank Matt Richard for all the work you did, planning this, bringing me here. How about we give him a nice round of applause? Nice job, Matt. I have to start out by asking, in this room, that you relax and have a good time, because this is not a program to take your alcohol away. There you go. Number one reason that I'm up here, I am a recovering alcoholic. I just celebrated 26 years being sober, living a day at a time. Thank you very much. In fact, my philosophy goes like this. Just because I can't drink, it doesn't mean you can't. I sincerely mean that. I think tonight you may learn some things about alcohol you never thought of. And by the way, my oldest daughter this year will graduate from college. She goes to a school called VMI, and I can proudly say this. She had a bad night this year. She called up and she said, "Dad, I was drunk last night." I said, "You got drunk senior year, what happened?" "We played the Naval Academy in football. We got our tail beat really bad. Everybody came back and we had a big night drinking because of that party." And I would like to say congratulations also to your football team. You had an outstanding year last year. Nice job on that. How many out here have had an alcohol problem? All right, not bad. By the way, how many of you drink every now and then? Raise your hand. How many do drink? Put your hand up nice and high. Now look at those hands. I see people going like this. Some going like this. Hangovers going like this. Oh, Jesus. How many have experienced being drunk? Raise your hand. How many have been drunk? And look at the smiles on your face. You say drunk, you not only put your hand up, but your face goes like this. Yes. Have you ever walked to someone the next day and gone, "Woo-hoo, should have seen yourself last night"? How many plan to get drunk at spring break? How many have thrown up because of a night drinking? How many had a bad night and just threw up? And smile about throwing up. Very good. How many have seen one of your friends pee in the wrong place because of a night being drunk? Look how you point each other out. That's amazing. Even the women are pointing each other out. them out, you go like this, yo, go up on that roof and pee on those people. And the guy does it, and the people on the ground are so drunk, they think it's raining outside. I had someone ask me the other night, well, you went to college, you played college football, did you ever get drunk? Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. Did you ever pee in the wrong places? Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. And someone said, tell me the worst one you ever had back in school. You know, my senior year of college, I got engaged. After practice, I was really happy, having a good time, and my fiance said, you know, tonight, my parents are coming up. It's going to be the first time you'll meet them. Unfortunately, that afternoon before spring break, we played a game called Power Hour. How many have heard of Power Hour? One shot of beer every minute for 60 straight minutes. I got up to 72, throwing up, unbelievably drunk. Stumble over to her house and she goes like this, go in the bedroom. You're not going to meet my parents like that. 2 hours later she goes, you know what you did? You walked out into the middle of the living room, totally naked, no clothes on, went over to the TV, turned it on, and you peed in front of the TV. And that's the way I met her parents for the first time. She should have known right then that I had an alcohol problem. And by the way, how many again have had an alcohol problem? How many have thrown up again because of a night drinking? Raise your hand. How many have had an alcohol problem? This is one of the smartest schools in America. How many threw up again because of a night drinking? How many have had an alcohol problem? How many said the following at least once in your lifetime when you were drunk? I swear to God, I'll never drink again. God, just let me die, it's not worth it. I swear to God, I'll go to church on Sunday to get me out of this one. How many have seen one of your friends walking in at 2 o'clock in the morning with the greatest drunken walk you've ever seen, going like this? You speak to them, they speak in a foreign language. And that night they put a trash can right beside the pillow. And the next day when you get up, some of the small problems, maybe you miss a class. Maybe you're dehydrated. Maybe you haven't practiced that day. You might have spent too much money on alcohol. We have things called minors in possession. Today, terms called date rape and acquaintance rape that go hand in hand with alcohol consumption. And one of the worst ones is to go at spring break, go out and get drunk and end up with alcohol poisoning. How many know someone that ended up with alcohol poisoning? Raise your hand. How many would say they were an alcoholic? You know, the thing is, 99% of those people in college, they're not the alcoholic. They're really good students like yourself. They get one special week off. Maybe they go to Cancun. They get drunk at a place called Senor Frogs, and they end up in the hospital getting their stomach pumped. And my major concern would be this. Instead of talking about alcoholism tonight, why don't we do something for you? So I invented a term for the people that will never be alcoholic, get good grades. I call you one-nighters. One-nighters are a short-term problem of just one night that could have a secondary consequence. Recently, I said this to the Penn State football team, and Coach Joe Paterno went like this. I like that idea. I was worried you were going to give an AA program. One-nighters, I like that. But I think you should add this to your program. Drinking should be over here. Getting drunk should be all the way over here. They are two different things. He goes, Greeny, I went to a school called Brown University. I'm still a social drinker. I've been a social drinker for 50 years. And proudly he goes, I've never been drunk. I've never had more than 2 drinks at any one given time. My parents told me that alcohol was a great treat. Over here, it's a treatment. They get drunk Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. Over here, it's part of the entertainment. Over here, it's an escape. And I really believe in college, most students don't know the difference between drinking versus getting drunk. They think it means the exact same thing. How many would agree with Coach Paterno at Penn State? There's a lot of people that do not know the difference between drinking versus getting drunk. That's why we're doing this program. We would like to see when you go out that you take care of yourself. You represent a fine school. You do not embarrass your family, and if you have a drink, you keep a limit maybe of 2 drinks. You don't use terms like this. I got wasted, trashed, garbage, pounded, hammered, destroyed, and annihilated. How many have heard of those terms? You should use positive terms like this. You're supposed to sip it, taste it, enjoy it, socialize, have a good time, christen it a party. Learn to use the right terms. And by the way, let me show you why I did that. I'll give $100 to anybody in this room. Put your hand up. Here's the $100 bill. Tell me the name of this glass. I saw your hand go up first. Who was it over here? What is it? What's the name of the glass? Shot glass. Absolutely wrong. Anybody know? Go ahead. Nice job. Now finally someone got the $100. Excellent job. Stand up a minute. What is your name? Nikki Noni, congratulations. You got a $100 bill. Give him a round of applause. Nice job. The name of the glass, which should be positive, is a jigger. Cordial sipping glass. It's a measuring device only. It does not have a handle to drink out of it. How many thought right away you went like this? Shot, shooter, destroyer, or killer shot? You know what they teach in school, in bartending school? They make you hold the glass up and they make you put 3 fingers up. It means third-party liability. No one should have any more than 3 of these in any one given night. If I serve him a 4th drink, he gets into an accident, he has a right to come back and sue me, the bartender. You know the airlines, if you're flying to Cancun, they'll serve you 2 drinks. They never serve a 3rd. Plane lands, you're in a car from Hertz, you get into an accident, you can sue the airlines. You're supposed to pick it up, take a little sip, put it down, take an hour to enjoy. How many have done that? How many have actually had a shot? Raise your hand. How many have gone like this when it comes out? You smile at it. You get this big grin on your face, and you start going like this. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. You start loosening up, head going around like this. How many people go like this? No, I'm not doing it by myself. Get him one, him one, him one, him one, and him one. And you make a race out of it. You go like this. So on the count of 3, nobody cheats. 1, 2, 3. And then watch their face. Tears coming down. There's a person that can't breathe going, and you pat him on the back and have the nerve to go, that was good stuff. If I went over to get a cup of coffee and saw the person in front of me acting that way, I'd look at him and say, I'm not drinking the coffee. Do you see what happened to that person? If it doesn't taste good, why would you drink it? It's spring break especially. This is the #1 problem. It's called rapid ingestion of alcohol. It means alcohol poisoning. Doing shots like Bacardi 151, Yukon Jack. You never ever drink something called Everclear. And look at that reaction. In fact, this term called one-night problem, had someone in Michigan stand up and go like this. Hey, Greeny, we lost one of our fraternity brothers last year. That game Power Hour, which you played, it was his 21st birthday, and he played it with Jack Daniels. He had 27 shots in 27 minutes, passed out, and the people took him back to his dorm room to let him sleep it off. You take him to the hospital. The next day they went to wake him up, he died in bed, blood alcohol level 0.67. We had somebody in Texas give me this glass here. I'm gonna see one of the big glasses. On this it says, Texas Killer Shot. It should say Texas Social Glass. The guy that gave me the glass goes, I also lost my brother. He was also a one-nighter. Short-term problem with a devastating consequence. His buddies bought him the glass on the 21st birthday. Picks it up, he chugs it down. He did 5 more. He died right in the bar. What did he die from? Alcohol poisoning. It was the coroner that told us. You put hard alcohol in a glass like this, it becomes an anesthetic drug. You chug it down, it numbs the gag reflex in the back of your throat. If you have to throw up, it doesn't work, you die of alcohol poisoning. Do not go to spring break and drink a whole lot of shots because they're cheap and because you get 1 week off and you don't know the guidelines. This can cost you your life. And by the way, the word intoxication has a negative word toxic in it, which means poison your system. Or you're having a great time and somebody pulls out one of these. What is this called? This is what you put oil in your car. That is it. It is not a social cocktail glass. I held this up at UCLA and a young lady goes like this. Hey, Greeny, I got raped because of that. You got raped because of a funnel. How? I heard you speak last year. You were telling everybody. I thought the most important part of your program, you took your glass and you told people about that social skill Coach Paterno was talking about. When you get your drink at a party, you never hold it out like this. A social skill that you start to learn is to hold your drink centered to your chest at all time. And you keep your free hand resting on the top of your drink. Because of the drugs Rohypnol and GHB, known as roofies. How many have heard of those drugs? So you go to a party, you're talking to somebody, looking this way at the band, and GHB comes in a capsule this big. It's clear, colorless, odorless, poured in your drink, and we have somebody down like that. She said, you also said evaluate who gives you the drink. Never leave your drink sit alone. She goes, I gave my drink to my friend, go to the bathroom, I come out, and I try one of these. And when I'm not looking, the guys put beer and GHB together. I was raped by 3 people. And she goes like this, I would tell most people you talk to, never turn your back on a funnel. And secondly, it's one and done only beer. You never put hard alcohol in this. And she goes, Greeny, I'm an athlete. Boy, if a referee missed a call, everyone gets upset because it violates the rules of fair play. How come we don't have fair play at a party, which means this? Nobody has the right to spike anybody's drink to get them into bed. How many agree with that statement? That should never go on. The most risky time that this goes on usually are Friday and Saturday nights, especially at spring break. Go on to some special island because you let your guard down. Please protect your drinks. Now let me give you some good one-liners I've seen recently. The other night I had a young man sitting up front with a great big welt on his forehead. I said, how'd you get that? It's a one-night problem. You got it on the field. Nope, I got to drink a tequila. I had about 13 shots. I stumbled in the bathroom. He said I could hardly stand up to balance myself. I put my head against the wall like this. I didn't know I had to sneeze. Ha-choo! I hit my head so hard I passed out in the toilet. Lucky my friends were there to drag me out of the toilet. You know, bottom line, the trainer stood up and went like this. You know when Greeny said short-term problem, lifetime consequence? He's an athlete. He has a mild concussion. He's going to miss the next 2 games. And you know something, this is his senior year. And in March, we can't afford that to happen. And he's not an alcoholic, Greeny, he just got caught up in the moment. And one of the best one-liners I've ever seen. Someone else was in the room and had a great big Band-Aid all the way across his forehead. I said, what's that called? This Band-Aid? It's called a UPI. How many have heard of a UPI? That's why we call this alcohol awareness, a new term tonight. I said, what's a UPI? Unidentified party injury. You get up the next day, you have a bump, lump, or bruise on your body, have no idea how it got there. How many now know what I mean by a UPI? How many have had one? I said, what happened to you? He goes, spring break. I'm drinking a drink called a Zulu Warrior Zambini Barbarian Punch. Never asked what's in it, I find out later it was something called Everclear. And there's that bottle, the only one that they make, that they put a red label on the bottom that says, don't light anything around it because it could blow up. It could take the paint off of a car. And you're supposed to mix it 25 shots of soda to 1 shot of Everclear. He goes, I didn't know that. I had 3 drinks sitting down, I felt fine. Stood up and hit me like lightning. I passed out. You think the 3 young ladies would drive me home? They played a practical joke. They took me to a tattoo parlor and got me a tattoo on my forehead. I said, you were that drunk. You woke up with a tattoo on your forehead. I said, wait a minute. What type of tattoo do you have? I saw him get real embarrassed and go, Greeny, I have a flying penis tattooed on my forehead. You got a flying penis on your forehead. We get a guy in the back row stand up and go, peckerhead. He goes, yeah, and he whips the Band-Aid off. He had the ugliest skin graft I've ever seen in my life. The room got totally quiet just like this, and he goes, you know 2 things here. The alcohol wears off, the laughing stops. It's a personal injury for a lifetime. It never goes away. I told that story at a school called Vanderbilt, and the football coach went like this. You got to admit a flying penis is funny. He said, I'm back here laughing thinking about one of our players we lost. He broke his wrist in one of our games last year. The trainer took him to the hospital, they put a cast on. That night he was feeling sorry for himself, so he goes drinking, proceeds to get drunk, and at 2 o'clock in the morning he makes a mistake. He lives on the 8th floor of the dorm, leaning against a great big window with the cast going like this. Why did this have to happen to me? Hit the window so hard he went through that window and he fell 8 stories to his death. And hey, Greeny, I had to call his parents. It was the worst phone call I ever made in my life, and he goes like this. He surely was not an alcoholic. He was a one-nighter. But every time you speak, would you do me a favor? Stop and ask everybody one question right now. What would your parents be like to get that phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning? They lost their son or daughter at spring break because they got drunk and fell out a window. They never get off of that. You know, bottom line with this? The big thing is we have people fall off balconies every single night at spring break. We have people fall off rooftops. We have people fall up steps. People fall down steps. And the big thing about this is, it's a night to relax. It's a night to enjoy yourself. Don't let it cost you your life or get arrested. We had a young lady, Villanova University, captain of our cross-country team 7 years ago, national champion, academic All-American, doesn't drink the 4 years of college, senior dinner dance, and I get a call like this. Greeny, I'm in jail, can you bail me out? I said, Rebecca, what happened? I had 15 kamikazes. How many have had a kamikaze? I said, why 15? I wanted to see what drunk was like at least once in my college career. What did you do? All the women got together at 2 o'clock in the morning. We were drunk and hungry. How many have experienced being drunk and hungry? Only restaurant open was a brand new chicken diner. And there's a guy out there with a chicken uniform on, flagging traffic down like this. We jumped the guy and stole his chicken uniform. I put it on and rode my bicycle around the campus at 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, with a chicken uniform on. Sure enough, I walk in the police station, she's standing with a chicken uniform on, tears coming down. Even the police go like this. Greatest thing we've ever seen. I said, what's the fine? $80. Why so much? They left that guy naked back at the restaurant. We had to go back, give the uniform back, get my money back, and wake our dean of students up, Father Stack. And he smiles and he goes like this, hey, Greeny, it's just a good old college prank. Let her go. 4 years later, I get a phone call from her again. Do you remember me? Yes, the chicken uniform. It's not so funny, I went on to Harvard. I'm studying to be an attorney. On the bottom of the bar exam, there's a question that says, have you ever been arrested or do you have a criminal record? Could that one night of my life cost me everything 4 years later? Absolutely. I call the police and they go like this. She doesn't have a record. We let her go. But it really makes you think that any one given drunk, any one given night could cost you everything. And you don't have to be an alcoholic. Guess how I got started speaking? 17 years ago, the Philadelphia Flyers ice hockey team hired me to come in to give a speech because they had a goalie by the name of Pelly Lindbergh killed in a drinking and driving accident. A young man making $2 million stopping little pucks going 100 miles an hour, but couldn't drive his car home on a Saturday night. He was drunk. Nobody got the keys away. Flipped his Porsche over, killed in a drinking and driving accident. The next year they hire me and someone goes like this. Hey, Greeny, thank God for this one-night program. We had fun. But why does it always take a death and then they hire a guy like you? You want to see something really stunning? How many of you lost a friend back in high school due to a drinking and driving accident? Put your hand up nice and high in respect to the person. Now look around the room to see how many hands are up. How many people would go like this? You're absolutely right. The person that died, I don't think they were an alcoholic. I think they were a one-night problem. How many would say they were a one-night problem? Raise your hand. How many disagree and say they were an alcoholic? Watch the worst one. Not even that, they were a victim of somebody else's one-night problem. I just spoke to a father on Sunday night. He called me up and he goes like this. You're going to speak at the Naval Academy? You think we're going to eliminate alcohol? It's not going to happen. You know the greatest thing in this room when you walk out of here? It's called being your brother's keeper and your sister's keeper. Being a teammate, or what I like to call being a spotter. You know what a spotter is? Next time you walk in the weight room and someone goes like this. Yo, can you give me a spot at the bench press? You see your best friend miss the lift? You reach over, you grab the barbell, you put it back on the rack so a person doesn't get hurt. How many know what I mean by being a spotter? Raise your hand. You know, bottom line, but you get somebody drunk at spring break and you turn your back on your friend instead of getting off of that balcony. Someone gave me a spot driving to this program. I'm speeding my car. Someone goes by the opposite way, they hit the high beams 5 times. What does it mean when someone hits the high beams 5 times? There's a cop, police officer, slow down, and I went like this. Hey, thank you very much, I didn't get a ticket. But yet we can't teach people to take care of each other when they get drunk. I'll show you a good spot the other day. My hometown is a place called Cape May, New Jersey. I have my wife in my car. By the way, my wife is sitting over here. How about we give her a nice round of applause? She's actually a true Navy fan. Every year at the Army-Navy game, she's Navy 100%. So she's actually a great fan of football. She loves her football team. So we're driving the car. She's sitting over here. I have 2 kids in the back seat, 8 and 10 years of age. Guess what got me upset? Some guy pulled his car right in front of mine, cut me off, and he did one thing to get me upset. He threw me the finger. How many have had somebody throw you the finger? Raise your hand. How many throw it back automatically? I threw the guy a double finger. What does he do? He pulled his car over and went like this. Yo, buddy, get out of the car. I got out of my car so fast it wasn't funny. I'm now chasing the guy around his car. My wife is chasing me around the car. She stopped the whole thing by spotting going like this. Hey, hon, you want to hit that guy in front of your 2 children? And I got back in the car. Just that simple. She can get out of the car and go like this. Yo, hon, I got your back. Go to the first punch and we're kicking his tail. How many have seen one of your friends do that? Yo, if a fight breaks out, we're all jumping in. How many have seen that action? That is the worst possible thing you could do, especially being in the Corps, for this reason. You get arrested, your name's in the paper. The newspapers are all over you. And bottom line, I really think you go like this. Let's walk away and go drink somewhere else. I had a coach at Bates College go like this. We had one of our shot putters on the track team at the 7-Eleven at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know something? He's getting something to eat. And 3 of my players are going nose to nose with 3 people from our town. And he went like this. Yo, I got your back. When he wasn't looking, he got stabbed 9 times. He died in the 7-Eleven. How many of you have lost their friends because of drugs, alcohol, and violence? Put your hand up in respect to them. I will remember them in my prayers tonight. The greatest gift you could ever give anybody is going over when they're drunk and go like this. It's not worth it. I'm your spotter. We're walking you home. You know something? We can't afford you going to jail. It's not worth it. Take care of each other that way. In fact, one of my best friends, he coaches the offensive backs for the Chicago Bears football team. Yeah. We went to dinner the other night, and he ordered a Long Island iced tea. How many have ever had a Long Island iced tea? It should take you an hour to sip it, to like it, to enjoy it. He chugs the whole thing right on down. Ordered a second one, chugs the second one right on down. And I go like this. Hey, coach, you know you've had 10 drinks? Get the heck out of here. There's only 2 glasses. How do you figure I had 10? I used to bartend. In every one of those glasses, there's 5 shots. 5 times 2 is 10. He goes, no kidding, I'll have another one then. Just to spite me, he orders another one. I don't walk over and go like this. Hey, coach, I'm an alcoholic. I can't believe you're drinking in front of me. That's insulting. Just because I can't drink, it doesn't mean you can't. Watch this spot. And by the way, this works every single time. Hey, coach, I'll buy you the next drink if you give me the car keys. I've yet to see a person argue with a free drink. He's got the drink in his hand. I have the car keys in my hand. And what I have is one less drunk driver behind the road this night because a buddy took the time to get the keys away. How many have actually done that? You got the keys away from one of your best friends. Nice spot. How many walked somebody home when they were too drunk to walk home by themselves? How many set up with somebody one night when they were throwing up all night? Then I watched the coach get out of the chair. He walks sideways to the bathroom. He doesn't open the bathroom door. He gives it a karate kick. What is it with the bathroom and drunks? They go absolutely crazy in there. I walk in, we got a coach standing there like this laughing to himself. You know, the urinal's right over here. The other one's over here. He's standing directly between the 2 of them, peeing on the floor. I say, Coach, you realize you're peeing on the floor? He goes, oh, damn thing moved, didn't it? Stood over like this. I said, all right, time to get you home. On the way home, his wife goes like this. Greeny, you're a recovering alcoholic. Tell me the truth. Isn't he an alcoholic tonight? Absolutely not. And by the way, How many have had a bad night when you got drunk and somebody called you an alcoholic? How many have had that happen to you? So if you learn anything tonight, you go like this. I'm not an alcoholic, I'm a one-nighter. Completely different. Next day, coach goes, what did you mean short-term problem with a lifetime consequence? Hey, image is everything. You coach with the Chicago Bears. You're in the bathroom peeing on the floor. If a reporter saw that, would it not go to the newspaper, and how fast would you be fired? Like that. I also do the work for the University of Alabama. Last year, our head football coach, Mike Price, an outstanding man, had his own free time, got drunk, invited some people back to his room, and he got fired. How many heard the story? How about the head basketball coach at Iowa State that got fired because of a bad night? How about the head football coach, University of Washington, had a bad night betting and got fired? How about what's going on right now at St. John's University? How about the University of Colorado? And bottom line in most of these cases, they're all one-nighters, which means this, especially in the service, you're under the microscope. You know, bottom line, we all love you because you protect us. You're going to stay in the front line. We can't afford one of you going down simply because you got arrested in a barroom fight or did something just a little bit wild. So be real careful and take care of each other. I'm going to ask you a couple questions now. Give me the name of a mixed drink that has a really crazy name. All right, Mind Eraser, what's that called? All right, we got Sex on the Beach, Mind Eraser, anything else? All right, a red-headed woman, something else. Buttery nipple, something else. Screaming orgasm, something else. All right, now watch. Look at that reaction in this room. I said, give me a couple names of drinks, and we go like this. Oh, we have a screaming orgasm. Right away, and people are going like, oh my God, where? You didn't give me drinks like this. 7 and 7, rum and Coke, Jack and Coke, Tom Collins, vodka Collins, Manhattan or Margarita. They all sound good. You want the drinks like this. Kamikaze, Zombie, B-52, Mind Eraser, Brain Tumor, Black Death, Red Death, Purple Hooter, Purple Prairie Fire, and a football player at Penn State goes like this. Ooh, my favorite drink. I said, what is it? A gorilla fart. You'd go out and say 2 gorilla farts right over here. If I was sitting beside you, I'd get up and move. I wouldn't sit there. You know, the other night, I'm on an airplane. There's a beautiful young lady sitting beside me. They come down with the beverage tray and they go like this. Sir, you get a free drink. What would you like? Diet Pepsi. Ma'am, what would you like? Oh, I'll have an orgasm. Even I looked. I thought, damn, frequent flyer finally paid off. I was in the house right now. She orders a drink. I said, do you really like the taste of that drink? And she goes, not really, but sure gets a lot of attention, doesn't it? Look what I just did, everybody. I used to bartend. It's called a gimmick. If we can get you to laugh at spring break, you buy a drink that costs $8. It only cost us 85 cents to make. And then you get suggestive. And the thing I saw last year, unbelievable. A young lady walking down the beach with a shirt on that says, why grab a Heine when you could have a Bud? And I see people go, my God, did you see that? What do you think the drunks do? They walk over and go like this. Watch this. And this guy's so drunk, he walks over. He doesn't put shake her hand. He puts both his hands right on her chest, just like that. And she goes, move your hand. She goes, certainly. That young man got arrested for sexually assaulting her, which he should. You know the fine was $3,500, 3 months in jail, Class A misdemeanor, and worst of all, the young lady was a victim of somebody else's one-night problem. How come someone didn't go like this? Hey, wait a minute. That's out of bounds. You don't have the right to hurt her to make us laugh. See, I call that leadership. That's the best leadership of all. You stop it before it goes any further. You know, bottom line, how many men would tolerate the day you got married? Some drunk coming up putting their hands on your wife's chest. Not one of you. There'd be a fight so fast, you know why? It violates the rules of fair play. Nobody has the right to go out and hurt somebody simply because you're drunk and want to make your friends laugh. How many agree with that statement? That should never go on. How many of us agree with leadership taking care of each other? And now another biggie. I'm going to play a chugging contest. I'm going to give away 4 free t-shirts. How many have heard of the games like Buzz, Thumper, or Quarters, or Pong? How many have heard of those games? We're going to play one called a Greeny, named after me, Greeny. I need 4 volunteers that want to win a free t-shirt. Right there, right there, right there. We need one of the women also here, one of the women. Can that young lady come up here? How about we give all of them a nice round of applause? Come on up here.
Stevens.
John Gower.
I'm going to have you be my judge. You're going to stand right over here. Tim's going to be my judge, so he definitely gets a shirt. You're going to be my right-hand man here. And your name?
Ruth Roberson.
Okay, Ruth, here we go. We have 4 cups up here. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. As fast as you can, take 2 steps forward. Straight line across, everyone's going to start straight. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 as fast as you can. You grab any one of the 4 cups, chug it down, put it back on the table. The first 2 that are done will get a shirt and sit down. The 2 that lose, I'm going to ask them to do something for losing. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, which one do you have? Right here. Nice job. Round of applause. Nice job. Round of applause. Nice job. Hold on a minute. 1 second. Now watch. There's got to be at least 3,500 people here. I just went over spotting. I went over one-night problems. And I got 4 people to come up that I don't even know, come up on this stage, pick up a drink, and not ask what's in the cup. What did you drink? Diet Coke. What did you drink? Diet Coke? Diet Pepsi? Diet Pepsi? It really was Diet Pepsi, caffeine-free, but my last name is Green. My nickname is Greeny. Guess how I got the nickname Greeny? Because in one of those cups, just one, I won't tell him which one, I spit a Greeny into one of those cups. Now I didn't spit a Greeny in the cup. All right, it really is Diet Pepsi. Now I'm gonna have those 2 take a step backwards. And for losing, never play a game unless you know the consequences. Since you're up here and you decided to play to get your shirt, turn around and face each other, give each other a kiss, and then you get your shirt. You 2 get $50 to split. That's the first time this year that I've seen anybody in front of all these people, I call that peer pressure, screaming, yelling, cheering, standing up, and she stood on her 2 feet and went like this. No way. They definitely are the winners. Nice job. You guys get this a split. Nice job. Excellent job. All right, come on up a minute, one more time. That's just tremendous. I have yet to see someone do what she did, and guess what? That's the greatest spot going. She said no in front of all this peer pressure. I just did the game to Florida State's football team. Coach Bobby Bounds in the back of the room, and he goes like this. Hey, Greeny, you got 4 of my players to come up, pick up a drink, throw it down, and not ask what's in the cup. And I just heard you talk about protecting your drink, the drugs Rohypnol and GHB, and they didn't ask. And the big old defensive tackle goes like this. Yo, coach, you really think someone's going to spike my drink to get me in bed? He goes, no, they would spike your drink to flunk our drug test. And by the way, you all get drug tested. You cannot leave your drink unattended. People do that all the time. Protect your drinks and pass it on to your brother or sister at home. When they get their drink at a party, keep it protected. How about we give all of them a nice round of applause? Nice job. Excellent job. One other piece of advice. Never ever cross-mix medication and alcohol. How many knew that? Especially if you have attention deficit disorder. You cannot go out if you're taking medication and drink. The #1 drug abused by people that drink is marijuana. How many know the street names of marijuana? Weed. All right, weed, okay. Pot, Mary Jane. Let's see if I have them. Pot, doobie, herb, reefer, ganja, loco, wacky, cess, jiva, kiloweed, skunkweed, L-train, hippie, salichronic. And I had a guy at Penn State go like this. Yo! He goes, in my neighborhood, we call it ear. You call marijuana ear? I never heard it called ear. Yes, you have. Ear! Pass it to the next person. How many times you go to a concert, all the lights go out? Thousand Midshipmen, and people go like this. Here it's good stuff. Here it's good stuff. You know the guy stood up and went like this? Gotcha, Greeny. Here's my badge. I work for the FBI. He said, I'm an undercover agent. Average age, 23 to 30 years of age. We want the following 3 people. The buyers, the pushers, and guess what we call really good students? We call them moochers. How many know that term, being a moocher? He said, Greeny, you went to school. You ever smoked marijuana? And I went like this. Yo, I never bought it. See, moochers say that all the time. Tell me the worst thing you ever did. I went to a party one time in Margate City, New Jersey, 30 years ago. Did not plan to smoke. I'm standing beside the keg like it's my date, minding my own business. Somebody walked in with a gigantic bong this big. You look at it and you go, oh, Jesus, here we go. I'm over there locking doors, pulling shades down, helping the guy light it up, and then you start taking these totes. You start laughing, someone else laughs, they laugh, you laugh, you're so stoned, you forget what you're laughing at, but you continue laughing anyway. I am now stoned and drunk, sitting on a couch, staring at a light bulb for 3 hours. What a great way to spend a Friday night staring at a light bulb. Didn't one of my buddies play a practical joke? He bought a police siren this big, put batteries in the bottom of it, runs around to the front door, knocks on it, boom, 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 boom. All I heard was police open up. I can guarantee if you're stoned and drunk, you hear police open up, you'll jump higher than you ever did in your entire life. Heart going 90 miles an hour, I'm in for the kitchen to get out, and I hear that siren. I'm not gonna be over, get the hell out of my way. I live 8 blocks from this place, ran all the way home, never looked over my shoulders once, ran up the steps and passed out on the couch. Next morning I found out I was 1 house short of where I lived. You guys are clapping like, nice job. I woke up and said, what are you doing in our house? He goes, no, you're in our house again. And it's got to stop because where are your clothes? I had no clothes on. Totally naked in the wrong house. How many have seen that movie, Old School? This is Hank the Tank right here. You know the bad thing? He let me go 30 years later. He's still a neighbor of my parents. Every time he sees me, he goes like this. Yo, Mr. Naked, how you doing? Except my daughter, she's only 8 and she heard it. The most embarrassing day of my life. Have to explain to your daughter why you smoke marijuana and were naked in the wrong house. That's a short-term problem with a lifetime consequence. And she goes, Dad, you're so proud of being a recovering alcoholic, but you never mention that. Are you ashamed of pot? Yes, I am. She goes, why? It's an illegal drug. I did it when I was drinking a lot of times. I used to smoke at the same time. It ruins motivation. And for women, it is the #1 date rape drug combination in America. If you drink and you smoke together, you have yourself at risk big time. You never ever do that because of the consequences. One last thing. I get one question every day that goes like this. Tell me the truth. The reason you became an alcoholic is because you had alcoholic parents. No way. I wouldn't blame my parents for my problem. The buck stops here. I learned in school we had 3 nights to get drunk. Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. You know, if you get drunk every Thursday night for a full year, you got drunk 52 times that year. If you get drunk Thursday and Friday, that's 104 days. That's a third of the calendar. You do Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you're up to 156. If you walk on my office and go, Coach Green, I want to get stronger. What should I do? Lift weights 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. Follow the program. If you never miss, I'll guarantee you'll get stronger because you put the time in. How many agree you put the time in, you definitely get stronger? You want to have a really good alcohol problem? Bring a recovering alcoholic to your school. Say to him, hey, Greeny, when you're in college, when did you get drunk? Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, and all those special holidays, like spring break, New Year's Eve, St. Patrick's Day, NCAA basketball playoff. My God, that's a full month. How many great holidays do we have? You have things like Mardi Gras. I actually have a piece of paper. You can get these tomorrow. I handed this little survey out to the University of Tennessee football team, and I had a player go like this. Hey, coach, you can have this back. He says, I don't drink. And the whole team went like this. You liar. You drink worse than anybody in the room. He says, I drink beer. Beer's not alcohol, is it? So what do you think it is? I grew up in a family, my parents said beer is just beer. There is 1 shot in every 12-ounce bottle of Budweiser. He goes like this. Well, in other words, then, I got drunk 300 times last year. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, every one of those holidays. And he goes, Greeny, I don't want to be an alcoholic like you. Thank God we had this program. Will you talk to me afterwards? I will be here after this program for any questions. I went back the next year. He went from 300 drunks down to 90. That's a big change. The next year from 90 down to about 40. When he graduated a couple of years ago, 1 year he got drunk 4 times. He plays in the pros right now. He has a degree, and he says this all the time. If you can't look, how could you possibly change? That's why the word in AA is called denial. We don't want you becoming an alcoholic. We want you to look. You have plenty of resources on campus. You have a great drug and alcohol center. If you have a problem, sit down and talk to somebody. Now, my last group to come up, could I have my volunteers come up here for a second? How about we give all of them a nice round of applause while they're coming up? I'm going to show you something called the 6-pack. I'm going to ask my first 2 volunteers to come out. Can you come up here and we'll do it all the way up here. Can you sit down right there and put your backs against each other? Now watch. I am now recruiting 2 people to come to my college to be part of my team. They're going to back, they're going to lock their arms and be spotters for each other. I want you to bend your knees and bring them all the way up to your chest. On the count of 3, I want you to push without letting go and stand up as one team. 1, 2, 3. Nice job. Let's have you sit down again. My next 2 recruits to come in, you're going to sit on this side right over here. Make sure your shoulders are touching each other. Let's get them to hook up and be spotters. Bring those legs all the way into your chest. On the count of 3, let's push. 1, 2, 3. Nice job. Excellent. Have you sit down one more time, my last 2 recruits. We'll have them sit right over here. Now we have all 6. That's why I call this a 6-pack. They're going to hook up. They're going to be spotters for each other. Bend those legs real tight. On the count of 3, let's push. 1, 2, 3. Hey, nice round of applause. Nice job. Excellent. We'll have you sit down one more time. This time, somebody has a problem in the group. Let's just pretend they went to spring break together. They're in Cancun. This young man right here got drunk. He's so drunk, he's out of control. So this time when they go to push, he's not going to push. He can't even hear what I'm saying at this point. Let's see what problem it causes for them. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Nice job. Nice round. Nice job. Excellent job. All right, hold on a minute. The reason I did this, I was speaking to Penn State's football staff, and Coach Paterno went like this. You know that 6-pack? It only takes one person to pull the entire team down. Every time you have somebody written up in the newspaper, it takes the whole team down. I had someone else to go like this. When I was in high school, I was in a car with someone that had the problem. We didn't get the keys away. He hit a tree, Greeny. 2 of my best friends were killed. You know, bottom line, what you're teaching? United you stand, divided you fall. I really believe in this school more than any other place. You learn that it's united you stand. You do it together. You take care of each other. You become spotters, and you do not let your friend go down because of a one-night problem. I think you carry that out of this room, and we become better at socializing. How about again, we give them a nice round of applause. Nice job for that. Excellent. All right, now I got to ask you. You were here approximately 1 hour. How many had a good time the last hour? Raise your hand. How many actually learned something? How many have had a one-night problem now? How many like the idea of being a spotter? 30 years from now, you have children. They go to college. How many would want your children to go through this exact same program? But guess what? I'll be retired. You'll be the ones given the program. Walking out of this room, I want to tell you one thing. 26 years ago, I almost lost my life because of drinking. I was going to commit suicide because of being drunk all the time. I couldn't live with it. I couldn't live without it. I decided not to be a quitter. I went to a support group called Alcoholics Anonymous. I get on my knees every morning and ask God to keep me sober and thank him again at nighttime. I do it a day at a time. And I can tell you honestly today, I have a beautiful family of 3 children. I have a great wife. Things go really good, but I still fight this. I'm only 1 drink away from a drunk. You do not want to walk in my shoes. To come into this room tonight, this will be a memory for me to always keep me sober. The next time I have a bad day, I'll remember your school. You gave me a lift tonight. They're the little things that keep me sober. God bless you. Thank you very much for letting me share with everybody. Thank you.